Hi Taurus, this is Jess with your June 1st to the 15th, 2017 count-to. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So Taurus, straight away, the first thing that's like popping out at me is child support. I see some of you are being taken to court for child support. Just received a judgment that wasn't necessarily favorable for some of you for child support. Some of you could be taking your mate for child support as well. I know some of you are going through like divorces and separations and all that stuff. So it looks like some of you that are in court proceedings, that sort of thing, there may have been like one for the other side's team, one for their team. So someone could have gotten a victory. Some of you may not have heard some good news. Okay. It was a small victory for them. However, I feel like it's funny because it almost is telling me it's like, even though someone got a victory, they're still not satisfied, right? They still want more. They still don't feel like they've gotten all that they feel they deserved, because they feel like you have more to give, and that's what you should be doing, is giving. So some of you a judgment could have been placed on you simply because you missed your court date. Looks like you missed your court date. You weren't able to appear. You did not appear. And therefore there was a judgment against you. Now, again, it looks like some of you will be going to another court date. So it doesn't look like it's final. But it just looks like there was one, you lost one, basically. And I feel like it has a lot to do with its child support, but it also looks like it's custody, right? So there's some custody battles that it looks like it's going on here. And it may be like the ex-spouse, the other parent. It's like bad blood is what I see. Like, you guys really don't get along. And I do see like, you're saying, okay, I lost this opportunity now, but I'm going to make sure that I really, strategize and come up with just the right thing to make sure I don't lose again. Okay. So I do see like trying to plan, trying to strategize for these 2 weeks in preparation of perhaps a next go round, or if there has been a final judgment, you have to pay a certain amount of money. A lot of you some of you may be trying to find a way that you don't have to pay as much, may have to appeal, that sort of thing, restructure your finances so that it doesn't look like you have as much as you have. That type of thing is what I'm saying. So very much strategy is what I'm seeing here. But it looks like that other person, especially if you're dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, it looks like some of them are going to be quite successful in this whole judgment. And it looks like some of you may have to pay out some money. Okay. And if you're on the receiving end from a, I was thinking Sagittarius, but if you're on a receiving end, meaning you're trying to receive money from them, you're only going to get a small amount. You may have thought that you deserve, or you're going to be awarded this amount, but you're only going to get a small amount. Okay. And it could have been that, some of you, your head wasn't necessarily in the game and they were really on top of things, and, that sort of thing. So, and it could go either way. Now, as it relates to, so that's like the theme, not saying the hugest thing, but that's a big thing that kind of popped out for me. That some of you that can relate to that will be your main thing for these 2 weeks. Now, as it relates to actual monies, you're doing fine. A lot of you are doing well. It's just like you may be feeling very, you may be dealing with somebody that is has anxiety, is having, I just get like anxiety. So you may be having to be the calm for somebody, be the voice of reason for someone. You may be dealing with someone, family, friend, coworker, that sort of thing, that could be depressed. And again, you may at first have trouble how do I get through to this person? How do I reach them? And you may come up with some very clever ways to try to kind of snap them back out of that funk. And I do feel like by third week they will. So if any of you have issues in that regard, you'll be okay. Financially, money looks really good for you guys. I do see toward the end of the second week that there's some waiting for money evaluating your money. For you guys, I feel it's more evaluation than it is awaiting. There's more evaluating of how can I take what I have and make it into more of what I want it to be. So I feel like a lot of you guys are becoming more strategic in the steps that you make, in the steps that you take. And I feel like this may be for 2 weeks about family, about children in particular, about cleaning up anything from the past. Okay. I don't necessarily say, I'm not necessarily going to say that you're addressing, even though you may be dealing with people that may be confronting. Like, I feel like you guys are the outsiders looking at confrontation and you having to be there for a particular person that's caught up in the confrontation is what it looks like. And it could be that you could be the mother, the father, the uncle, the aunt, the co-worker, the supervisor of this person that's going through a custody battle, that's going through something with their children, or their parent is what I see. But it looks like things will smooth over. I would be conservative with the money. I would definitely plan. If you're planning on taking a lump sum of money and investing it into a particular thing, I would say, start slow if you can. It looks like things will work out, but for some of you, it will take some time. It could be, your first year. For some of you, it may take up to 3 years before you actually see good profit and everything come in. But for others of you, it could just be 3 months. So either way, there's going to be some time before you get where you want to be. So keep that in mind. It's not going to be an overnight success if that's what you're planning for. It looks like some of you could have recently lost your job, or you got bad news about a potential new job. Like you thought you was going to start a job, but then it's like, no, you're not going to start this new job. So now, and you feel like that I have all my bags and all my eggs in one basket. I wasn't even focused on these other jobs, and then I passed up good opportunities for this job to fall through. And now you're feeling a bit stuck, but financially, you guys are okay. It's not like you don't have anything. You're not desolate. And things are going to be fine. Things will start to come back in. So, there's nothing to worry about. I do feel like whatever stuckness that you guys have right now, it'll be very short-lived. If you're feeling that way right now, it's going to change because you're going to find a way out of it. If you're feeling a bit nervous and anxious about something that you heard or something that happened, you're going to find your way out of it. So don't worry about it. Everything is going to be okay. Now, as it relates to love, trying not for these videos to be long today. As it relates to love, it clearly looks like to be somebody's in the doghouse. Someone is in the doghouse and they're trying to come back and you're having none of it, or vice versa. This is very prevalent, and this is very prevalent. It is earth, air, or fire. That's it. I see no water here at all. So I'm Xing out the Scorpios, Pisces, or Cancers. This is a Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, Taurus, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. Okay. So yeah, I see that the person could have been trying to make amends. You're having none of it. You don't even know where to begin, because it could have been something that you found out that you didn't want to hear. Like you could have been starting something with someone. If it's a fire sign, you could have just started something with someone or rekindled something, and it's like before you can even get it all the way started, some BS came out, and it's like, okay, it didn't start right, and then the person may have wanted to start again with you, and then they disappear again. It's like somebody's playing games. Okay, so if you're dealing with fire signs, they're playing games. They're playing the, victim 1 minute, and then how can we work this out another minute, and then, still running and not showing up the next minute, like playing games. That's not all fire signs. That's just for those of you that says, yes, I do. I know of a fire sign, and this does sound familiar. It could possibly, doesn't mean that it's true. It's not a personal reading. It could possibly be the case for you. For you guys that's dealing with air signs, it looks like, again, they're either kind of on the fence of how do they take you back, or how do they rectify the situation. It looks like there was some type of renewal after there's been some bad news, bad blood in the past. It's like you guys are trying to start again, and there may be feelings for this person. You really have a very special bond with them, but you may feel like they're a liar and they're a cheat. And for some of you, you would be right. And the person could be very forceful, especially if you guys have a baby, you know, it could be very forceful. Like, he just will not leave your life because you guys have a kid, but he almost has like this entitlement factor attached to him as well. So there's that. And I feel like I just get like someone is waiting on someone to get their act together, and they're not going to get their act together. They're not. They can be childish. They play a lot of games. Just play a lot of games. And then you have another group of people that's dealing with people that are habitual liars. But then again, they play games. They play word games, right? So they like to spar. They like to, you know, they like to try to verbally get you caught up in a matrix. And you guys don't have time for that, you know? So it's like, okay, some of you are thinking, okay, you know, now you have to be careful, because some of you are thinking, you know what, I've been dealing with this guy or female for a very long time. I've been dealing with this for a very long time, and I have a new opportunity. But that new opportunity may be the same type of person masked in a different face, you know, everything. They look different, they speak different, but they're coming at you with the same nonsense in a different sort of way, but it's the same thing. So just be careful, you know. You usually need time to kind of like sift through what the lesson was, sift through what all has happened to you, and re-establish yourself before you allow another relationship to go on, you know, typically. So just be careful with that. But overall, I just see nonsense in relationships. Now, if you're in a healthy relationship, and I have to say this because not everyone's dealing with foolishness. If you're in a healthy relationship, it could just be a simple tiff between you and your mate. Okay, a simple tiff, and you and your mate you're not talking at this time, but at the core of you guys, you love each other. You've been together for a very, very long time, or you have that soulmate connection with you and your mate. There could have been, again, your mate losing their job or going through something that now is kind of affecting the relationship. You may be trying at first, not being able to know, how do I, you know, insert myself and try to help them. But then you figure out a way to perhaps help them. It may involve some finances, some capital, that sort of thing. But your mate may be feeling a bit distant from you, especially if they're going through something, you know, that is personal, and they're kind of confused. They don't know which way they're going to go. They don't know how they're going to get out of the situation. So I would say, you know, patience is a virtue in a healthy relationship. You may see your mate going through all kind of problems, especially like ups and downs, being very moody for the next 2 weeks, especially if it's money related, but they'll be fine. And just, you know, give them their space and let them get over whatever it is, because they need to see. Doesn't matter how much you tell them it'll be okay. They need to see and know that for a fact it's okay. So now I'm fine. So that's what I have for you guys for the remainder of the first two words. The first 2 words. I'm gonna get it together, guys. The first 2 weeks of June. If this resonates with you and you would like to share with us how it resonates, please do so in the comment section below. You know, we'd love to always hear from you guys. And if this is your first time, welcome. I don't always fumble like this. I haven't done this in a very long time, right, guys? But if you're new, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Taurus.